Chef Buck here, and today I'm going to show you my traveling kitchen. A lot of people have been asking what we travel with. Because we do a lot of house sitting. Camera Girl and I have been on the go for the last couple of years. We haven't had a fixed address in a while now. We've been going from kitchen to kitchen, place to place. And we have kind of a little kitchen setup that we use. Right now we're in Mama Redbuck's old house.
It's not old, it's just empty.
Yeah, so we've been really busy. We've been moving Mama Redbuck into her new house. So next time you see her in the kitchen, it's going to be in a different locale. But for right now, you know, we got all our stuff out of the car, but we don't have it unpacked, so I thought I'd unpack it right now and show you our traveling kitchen. One thing that we travel with is spices. What do I got? Coriander seeds, cardamom seeds. I like lots of seeds. Seeds are great for cooking with. We got sesame seeds. I've got garam masala. I've got mustard seeds. I like to go to international markets, Asian markets, Indian markets, and buy my spices, because you can get a bag like this here is cinnamon. You know, and I buy big bags of cumin, big bags of chili powder, because in those types of cuisines they use a ton of spice. So when you go into those grocery stores, you can buy spice by the bagful at a very reasonable price. Like, you know, you go into another seed, caraway seed. You know, you go into like a traditional U.S. grocery store, and you know they got these little containers of spices, and you know you might pay $5-6 for something like this, you know, or maybe even more. But you can go to an international grocery and get a much larger size, sometimes even for less. But that's all this stuff is spice. Ridiculous amount of spice to be traveling around with. But you know, the spices you cook with, you know, that's going to determine what your food tastes like. You know, that's going to give you the most control, because food's the same everywhere, all over the world. You know, we're all eating rice, we're all eating fruits and vegetables. It's the spices, you know, that gives a cuisine its flavor. So you can really get creative in the kitchen if you have a lot of spice. A lot of the house sits that we have had have just been fantastic. I mean, just immaculate kitchens. I mean, some of the best outfitted kitchens I've ever been in, I've cooked in the last couple of years. But sometimes, you know, we're in a kitchen and there's something I want that isn't there. And so I go out and buy it, and then we collect it in this, which is turning into our traveling kitchen. I got a couple little coffee things in here. They don't belong here. We also generally travel with a couple of bags of groceries. But yeah, speaking of coffee, you know, I got the Cafe Lissimo. I put this out in a video a couple of weeks ago, because we had used the Cafe Lissimo coffee filter at one of our house sits, and I really liked it. So I got one, and I've been enjoying it, although I haven't been making coffee as much as I usually do, because there's a great Cuban restaurant around here that has great coffee, so we've been going out for coffee a lot there. But this here is a nice little gadget. I'm going to make another video about it in the future. I'm slowly doing some tests, some scientific tests.
Scientific.
You know, to see how it holds up over time with the grounds. But we travel with this here in case there isn't a coffee maker where we go. If they don't have a French press or something, this is an easy thing to travel with to make a great cup of coffee. Boom, of course, we got a carafe. Because when you make coffee, whether you're making it in a pot or however you're going to make it, it's best to store it, you know, in a carafe while you're waiting to drink it. You know, one of the worst things, you know, when you go into a restaurant, you get that terrible coffee, you know, that old coffee. You know, a lot of times it's because they put it in a pot and they make it and they leave it sitting on a burner. You don't want to leave your coffee on a burner.
That's also insulated. It's the other reason we have it.
This here I bought because I like a nice box grater. You know, we went to a house sit one time and they had all they had was the little flat grater. Can't stand that. You know, I like, you know, if I had a bicycle right now, it would have training wheels. You know, I like that extra support. You know, I'm not ready to go just with a flat grater. I need the full box grater. This stuff over here, who uses this? Nobody uses this.
What are you talking about? If you don't have a lemon zester, that stuff is great.
Lemon zester? I've never zested a lemon.
And you've never sliced like zucchini or carrot if you don't have anything else?
I never have. I've never used any of the sides of a grater other than this. You know, a box grater should just have 4 sides. It's just that.
No.
That's what I think. Now we got a skillet, a nice non-stick skillet, and I got another skillet I travel with. Boom, this is a Lodge cast iron.
That's
from
the granddaddy.
Walmart.
That's the granddaddy.
It works pretty good. And this was cheap for a cast iron skillet. You know, in Seattle, we used to find cast iron skillets all the time in the thrift stores. Man, they want some money for a cast iron skillet. But this here works. And what I like about having a cast iron skillet is because you can do stuff on the stovetop and then you can put it in the oven. And some things I like to cook like that. You know, so I like to have that versatility, whereas this doesn't have an oven safe handle. Got some Ziploc bags in our traveling kitchen. That's how we hold our life together.
That's where they are.
That's where they are. They're in the traveling kitchen. Now we just got some gadgets and doodads. I bought a little wooden spoon set. It came in 3. You know, this is all I wanted.
I was going to say, can you tell which one he uses for his
this
curry?
One here, I don't think I've used these at all yet, although this one looks a little discolored on the end, so I must have used it for something. But these will probably get jettisoned at some point. But I like to have a wooden spoon. Gotta have a wooden spoon for your skillet, man. For your nonstick skillet. We got a knife sharpener. Because sometimes we go to a kitchen, and even though they have a lot of knives, you know, they can be pretty dull. And I know you're supposed to have sharp knives, but I don't know, it doesn't really always bother me, because sharp knives scare me. You know, people say that a sharp knife is safer than a dull knife. I guess that's true.
Will you move on?
I've cut myself a lot more with sharp knives than with dull knives. I like to travel with the knife. I got this knife, I really like it. I really like this design of knife, and I like it because it's flat. You know, I hate it when they have too much. I'm trying not to say the word hate too much, but I dislike knives that have too much of a bevel on the bottom. But this here, I like. I like that it has a cover. I'm getting scared as I get older. Camera girl bought this knife right here.
Because you took a knife. He took a trip, and I didn't have a good knife.
Yeah, I took this knife, so she had to go out and buy another knife, and she got this one here. And I don't like these kind of knives. I don't like the knives with the point on the end. What do you use that point for?
God. To start a tomato cut.
Start a tomato cut?
If your knife isn't
a tomato.
If your knife isn't sharp and you're too lazy to sharpen it, that little point.
Yeah, these scare me because
to get Buck in line again.
Get Buck
when
in
he's
line. This will do it too. The last job I had in a kitchen where I was working, I cut myself with a knife like this here. I was doing something and slipped, and it went right into my palm. There's a little scar right here.
It's in the shadow.
But it was short. You know, it went in about this far. And so when it came out, it had like little lips of flesh.
All right.
And so I had to go get it sewed up.
Oh, good gravy.
But,
that sounds like a coordination and a clumsiness issue.
It was a coordination and a clumsy issue, but I had to leave work. I couldn't work, you know, because I couldn't just put any Band-Aid on it and whatever and go to work, because I was out of commission. For how long was I out of commission?
Well, you're still out of commission if we look at your mental capacity.
Yeah, but it took a while to heal up. So these here, pointy knives, no, that's for TV movies. I don't need a pointy knife in real life. All right, now I need a spatula, you know, for my nonstick skillet. I don't know why we got 2 of these. Why do we have 2 of these? Tongs, boom. You know, I like the ones with the ends that I can use to flip stuff and not scratch my skillet too. Huh? What do we got this here? What is this? I didn't put this in here. What is this, camera?
That's called a knife.
I know that, but what is the purpose of this?
Sometimes you don't need a behemoth knife. Sometimes you just want a little paring knife. That's bigger than a paring knife.
You always want a big knife.
Oh.
And then, of course, I carry my big knife because, like I said, I ride the bus a lot.
Then I got 2 whisks.
Why do you need 2 of those? Why?
You know, because I you know, for non-stick surfaces, I like this one right here. Actually, I like a metal whisk. I don't like these. I like a metal whisk, but you know, I like to have these for the non-stick stuff. If I could, I would just have this. You know.
You look so serious.
And it's blue. So, and then boom, the last thing we got in here is this little doohickey for steaming. You know, so you can steam your vegetables, you can steam eggs, you can steam whatever you want. But this here is handy dandy. So that's all we have in our traveling kitchen right now. That is it. That is all. You know, we will have some more cooking videos coming down. You know, we got some recipes in the pipeline. I'm hoping to get my mom to cook some meatloaf. which she used to do a lot when I was a kid. And I don't know when the last time it was she did that, but she was staying over at my brother's house and she made a meatloaf. I was like, you don't make meatloaf anymore. So maybe that's back in the rotation. So I'm hoping to film her doing that. And we've got some other recipes we're gonna do. Anything to add, Camera Girl?
No, sir.
That's it. So some folks were asking about our traveling kitchen. There's our traveling kitchen. We'll be traveling on the road, and we'll see you in a video in the future. Thanks for watching and subscribing, dinging the bell, and